right now, the hard work that I'm reaping, and I'd like to explain that a little bit. In 2005, my daughters wanted to start a screen printing business, and they asked me to help them to buy the equipment, and so we did that. And we had a great time for several years, and then circumstances changed. They had to move, and I had to move, and so I took the equipment with me and decided to use it as a hobby. And shortly after moving to Arizona, I decided that I would just help people by making shirts for church and community and family and not charge anyone for that service. And so that's how it started. And so now I'd like to share with you a little bit about screen printing. First of all, you get a blank screen, and this one's a clean one, and you put some emulsion on it. It's some chemicals that you put in this emulsion scoop right here. It's a chemical that you purchase, and then you put it on the screen, on both sides of the screen. And then once you're finished with that, you have something that looks kind of like this. This one has a brown emulsion on it, and once this emulsion's on here and once it dries, you don't want to expose it to any light. So this one's already been exposed. You don't expose it to any light, because now you're going to take an image and put it on there. But first I'm going to tell you about the image. You go to your computer, or you can draw, freehand draw an image, but usually the images I use are computer based. So I have this image right here. It says, "The spirit within us is more powerful than the body." This one was an image. This is a quote by Theodore Burton. And we have a young man that lives in our ward area. His sister's a member of the church, but he's not a member. He's 15 and he has osteocarcinoma. And so some members of the ward wanted to make shirts that have Nick's Army on the side. His name is Nick. So I printed Nick's Army on the side and this image on the front of the shirt. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. First you take, oh, I forgot to show you this first. First you take this image and you put it on your screen here. Then you cover it with a piece of glass, clear glass, to hold it down. And then you put this under a light source, a special light source, and then it magically, the light will burn that image into a screen. And I have that screen here hidden. Where'd it go? Okay, I have the image here. And as you can see, I have a couple of other images for Boy Scouts and Nick's Army that goes on the side. But I'm going to put that right on here on this screen printing palette. I'm going to tighten it down. Next thing you do is you choose the color of ink that you'd like to use, and for this purpose I'm going to use black today. So I have some black ink right now, right here, and you just smear this ink right down here on the bottom. Next, you take your trusty squeegee and you kind of put some ink all over the top of that design that I have on there. Whoops. I'm not going to put it on a t-shirt because I've already done that, but I'm going to use this piece of cloth so that you can see what the image looks like. Okay. And then voila! But what you do, actually, if you're doing a shirt, you take your heater here, and it's called a heater or a dryer, and then you put it over the top of the image before you take it off and burn it on so that the ink doesn't get all over, but that's what you end up with. And so it's kind of magical and it's kind of fun. I thought that I would share some of the other images that I have with you. Most of the things, like I said, I do for church, community, and schools, just when it seems like the right thing to do. So we had youth conference, Tri-State Youth Conference last year, and they wanted to do pillowcases. So this was Arise and Shine Forth for last year's theme. So Arise and Shine Forth. Another youth conference this year, our stake was alone, and we did Born to Stand Out. The youth picked that, chose that as their theme, so we made drawstring bags for them. It says Born to Stand Out and has all the other words that the kids chose to put on that image. Some of the other things that I've done are youth conference, girls camp. This was the YCL's camp. They designed this shirt, and it says Get Real. Our theme was Gone Fishing, so they designed that. That same year, all the girls got this shirt. This is a different kind of process for this shirt. This image is distressed, so it's like soft, and it's like the fishing thing. One year, several years ago, when Virtue came out, we challenged the girls to read the Book of Mormon, and they would get this shirt. So it says, "Let virtue garnish thy let virtue garnish thy thoughts," and has the Chinese image on it. Youth conference, not youth conference, Trek. We had this on the back of the shirts that said the Goodyear, ours is the Goodyear Steak, so we had the Goodyear Steak Handcart Company. My husband's work, he wanted to do shirts for work, so we made Serving Those Who Serve. He works for the Veterans Administration, so they were excited about that. Some of the girls in my ward have a little preschool that they do together, and so I did their Mommy and Me shirts. And I do fun things too, like I help my sister who teaches 8th grade. She has a minority school that she teaches in, and so I do a shirt for them every year. That was last year. This was the year before. We Rock. And let's see. One thing we do every year is we have the bishops do a dinner for the girls in the stake, and the bishops in the stake presidency dress up and in their white shirts and ties, and we have them wear an apron. Last year said Not Your Ordinary, their bishop said Not Your Ordinary Bishop, and we had a nacho bar, and this is my husband's Not Your Ordinary Stake Presidency. And the year before it was Called to Serve was the theme, and we gave him that one, and this was one that happened during the 24th of July celebration for the Goodyear Steak. And these are aprons, of course. Anyway, all of this started out as hard work and a business, and then it turned into a hobby, which turned into just giving service, and it's a joy, and I love it.